Alright, so today we're going to do our heel section. So we've already finished our cuff, our leg, and now we're going to do our heel flap and heel turn. I'm just going to do it on bigger needles so you can see. So everyone should now be back at the beginning of their round with your needles having stitches on them for half on one needle and then the other half of stitches divided between the two needles with your beginning of your rounds in the middle, which is explained at the start. So what we're going to do now is do the heel flap. So start with, for mine I have 10 stitches on either side and then 20 on the back. Yours might be the small size, which you would have 14 on either side and 28 at the back. So I'm going to knit across my 10 stitches and you'll do the same on however many stitches you have. Then we're going to actually turn our work. So we won't be working in the rounds for a little while. We'll join back up after the heel's been turned. So then row 2, we are going to purl across the stitches we just knitted and then across the other quarter of stitches. So we'll end up with, for me, 20 on either needle. If you're doing the small size, you're going to end up with 28 stitches on either side. You can put your little stitch marker anywhere on the work of the side you're working on so that you know that that's the back and the other part's the front, or don't. All depends on what you want to do. So I've knitted across my 20 stitches. You're 28, you're 30, you're 32, 34, or big feet like me need 36 stitches. So now, and then I'm going to turn. So as you can see now, I have 20 stitches on the needle here, which is going to be the inset, and then I have 20 stitches here, which is going to be the heel flap. Now you can place the other 20, your other stitches, your inset stitches, onto a stitch marker, so it will look like this. And so you'll have half on this one and the instep stitches on the stitch marker. I'd advise that you do that, because that way they won't fall off your needle while you're working your heel. So let's go and take mine off. So we know this is the back, the heel side, so let's turn it around and I will take my stitches and place the instep stitches, or the front of your sock, onto stitch holders. If you don't have a stitch holder, you can use a contrasting piece of yarn and long piece of yarn and put through it. We make do with whatever we've got sometimes. Or if you are confident that they won't slide off, you can leave them sitting on a needle at the back of your work. It's just a little bit harder. So now we're going to work row 3. So we're just going to slide our first stitch and then knit to the end. Turn, and now on this one, row 4, what we're going to do is just make it a bit of a reinforcement heel. So we'll slide one stitch and then purl and repeat. So slide, purl, slide, purl. Just trying to get it so you can see it. So just slip it onto the other needle and then purl the next one. Just do that to the end of the row. Turn, and then we're going to repeat row 3 and 4 how many times that the pattern tells you. So usually I think it's up, we've got 8, 9, 10, 11 times depending on what size you're doing. So this side again, so slip first stitch and knit across. Now remember, your leg will not look like this. This is a different pattern I'm working on for my daughter, a pair of socks. And it's easy to demonstrate with the big needles on the video. You'll have the stocking stitch look. And the cuff at the top. Okay, so we've finished that. Let's turn again. And we'll do our slip purl. So try so you can see it. So slip the first stitch, purl, slip, purl, slip, purl, and continue that. All right, across. There are so many different ways of turning the heel, doing the flap. You can YouTube it. We'll do different ones over each sock tutorial more than likely, and you just choose the one you like best. Patterning, everyone has their, will have their favourite pattern. And you know what? I've just gone somewhere along there when I wasn't concentrating and didn't do something right. So there it is. Hang on, and now I've just got to count mine. Slip. And turn and see what you can see happening here. It's a bit hard to see, is you can see and you've got a pattern, like a reinforced pattern happening on the heel. You can't see it very well on this one because I've got the stocking stitch on the whole leg, but on this one you can see it. See how you've got that little reinforced heel, and that's because we're knitting a row and then we're sliding, which gives you that indent and the raised. So that's the part we're doing at the moment. So continue doing that for however many rows you're supposed to, and then come back and we'll do the heel turn.